Welcome back to the channel, guys. This week we're just going to go through some updates. This week video's out a little bit late, I do apologise. We've had a few things going on here, bit of an up and down week to be honest with you. So let's go straight into just some updates that we've had this week, and we'll start with possibly the downs, and then we'll end on the highs, because it's always best to finish on a good note. So the RCF moved into his new home last week, as you probably saw if you watched the video, and it has decided not to put itself into the area where we've given it all its shelter and the cork bark. It has made two webs at either side and is moving from one to the other and calling those home. So typical spider, not doing what you want it to do, but it has got its anchor points there, so fair enough. Hopefully it will start to branch out and web up a little bit more as it gets more settled and grows. Why are we bringing that one up? Well, last week I also mentioned that we had one of our UMVs had a bit of a bad molt. One of the ones with DKS, or suspected DKS type symptoms, moved very strange. It's always had a bit of an issue since I got it as a tiny sling. It was a gift off of a friend, and it's always had a little bit of problem. Unfortunately, that spider, after the molt, made it a couple of days and then passed away. So that passed away at the beginning of this week, and closely followed by another loss which was pretty hard to take, to be honest with you. Leahs, Harpactira pulchripes, unfortunately had possibly the most horrendous molt that I've personally witnessed. I came home on Monday from dropping Connor back at uni, and the molt had hardened on it. It was in a terrible state. It was mangled beyond belief, and I'm not going to show anything of that, but I had to try and aid it because it was still moving around. I tried and aid it and cut what I could free. I managed to cut the old abdomen away, the old carapace, the old pedipalps, the old fangs, but unfortunately all the legs were trapped, and down one side we had them looking like it was wearing very long socks. Couldn't take any of those molts off, the old exoskeleton off of that, and the other side the new legs were just bent, and it would have meant removing eight legs, which, you know, it's just unfathomable really. It was just, yeah, it would have been a nightmare. The spider, once I cut away the molt so that it could walk around, it was using some of those legs, but unfortunately the spider passed away that evening. So I think after having Leahs for 5 molts, just under a year, and I've had to free it from 3 of those molts, this spider was very predisposed to having these issues. But it was just hard to take, to be honest with you. So yeah, rest in peace, Leahs. Unfortunately, that spider has now passed away. I then, that evening, when I was going through and checking the spiders before bed, noticed that one of the ones that was from our breeding project, mine and Leah, one of our camera guy babies, had a pedipalp stuck in a molt. Fortunately for me, I was watching it do its thing, and it freed itself from the pedipalp. So this one had lost a pedipalp before. It then had a bad pedipalp. That pedipalp has now been removed. So it did it itself. That one molted, but it seems to be doing okay. It's climbing around its cork bark. One pedipalp lost is not a big deal for a spider. If you watch any documentaries about spiders in the wild, normally they've got some limb missing or a couple of limbs missing, and they do absolutely fine. So hopefully that spider's going to do okay. Yeah, that's all the bad news out of the way. So what have we had go on in here apart from that? Well, our first ever spider, GBB, matured out quite a while ago, and that sparked off some interest for me and Connor to actually get some more spiders. And the second spider we bought from the Midlands Entomology Show, and it was a Talitocalcal albilosus, and that spider matured a few days ago, and he's looking as fluffy as anything. So we've had that one mature, which is cool. Beautiful spider, big soft spot for the curly hairs, and we've now got a mature male here. He's not going to be going anywhere before people ask. I'm not sure whether he's going to be used for a breeding project because there's so many curly hairs out there, but he's a lovely looking male, so there's a possibility there. We did rehouse 2 of our smaller albiploses while we're on the subject of curly hairs, because they need to come out of those like the Reptizoo small enclosures and be moved up into 1.5 litre tubs. They are now rehoused. I didn't do that on camera because it's a very basic setup, and to be honest I was rehousing them while I was feeding other spiders, so I just got their setups done and they were moved over. So they've now got loads of space to grow. So we've got a big mature male, we have 1 larger male, and then we have 2 unsexed sort of juvies, and then we've got all the slings. So curly hairs rehoused and moved. Another piece of bad news, we were pairing Chris's Zoo on Wheels, his female Reduncus, with our male that I got from Steve Thornton, who's matured recently, and unfortunately he succumbed to the female. Yep, she got him. They tried to pair before, he was tapping away, she was quite responsive, but then she molted a few days later, so very unexpected molt given the timeline, according to Chris's data that he's got on her. But yes, she molted out. So we left it a little while, repaired them, and unfortunately he was tapping quite happily on the front of her setup, outside of her Exo Terra, on the front door, tapping away. She come out to have a look, and without any hesitation she just launched at him. She had been fed that morning, but she decided she wanted another meal, and unfortunately impaled him straight away. So we lost our male, which is gutting. I've had him since Tiny Little Sling. Yeah, so rest in peace, buddy. Unfortunately the Reduncus has gone. We then tried to pair the Pulchers. The Pulchers didn't actually do anything. She came out, she had a look at him, had a few taps, and then wandered off. So I'm going to be trying them again later today. Get those ones hopefully paired up and hopefully bring some more good news this way. So yes, pairing news update. The other pairing that we've got to try another one that we haven't had any joy with so far is our Darlingi. Not sure what I'm doing wrong with that one, but the male and the female just seem to have no interest in each other. I have no idea what's going on with them, but after I've asked loads of people about it, they're just, he goes there, sits there, he'll do a little tap and then wanders back to his enclosure. So I'm going to try and pair them again today or over this weekend. Avic watch, we're down to 10 with one of those seemingly struggling. It has its legs bent a little bit from when it was a nymph, and it doesn't seem to like being up or high in the enclosure. It constantly wanders around on the soil. So I've been giving that one a few sort of like fruit flies and pieces of mealworm around on the floor to try and get its stuff to scavenge. It's about a quarter of the size of the others, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with that one. So I highly suspect we're going to be down to 9 of the larger slings soon, and they're all going to be due a molt very, very soon. So that's the Avic update. We've had one of our Brachypelmas, a smaller Bomi, which I believe is a female. I've actually got the molt to sex later on, but we have a smaller Bomi, which is the fire leg, and that is that molted successfully yesterday, so Thursday, which is good. After all the grief we've had with molts recently, it's nice to finally see a spider actually do its thing and molt out quite successfully. I know we had the mature male albo, but it was nice to have one of the smaller spiders do its thing and actually do it well. So yes, that's that. And the only other thing I've got to do today is feed the female Sturmy. So we'll take you along with us for that, shall we? So we're going to entice her out with a little bit of grass, see if she comes out to the front of the setup. And what we're going to do is we're going to drop a roach in, and we're going to do that through the top. We're going to give her a roach, let her scavenge for that, and we're going to have a look at that one. So let's see how that works out, shall we? She's an absolute monster. She's such a big spider, absolutely stunning, but she's very large, and the noise she makes when she takes down those animals is unreal. But yes, successful feeding. So Always good to end on something nice, eh? And that is it. That is all we have today. Just a little general update. Things that we've got going on in the near future. Well, I did get some flowers. So we have got these, hopefully, for some colour and vibrance and variation in some of the future builds. And I think we're going to be using one of these in our versicolor setup that's going to be coming very, very soon, because our large female, or large juvie female I should say, is going to need a rehouse very soon. So that one I will be taking on camera, and we'll getting her into a nice setup with a little bit of colour. And that is it. That is all we have to go on today. So I hope you did enjoy today's video, just the updates that we've got going on. Sorry it's a little bit of a downer on some of the bits, but yes, we've had a couple of successful molts as well, so all good there. Anyway, if you did enjoy today's video, please give it a like, please consider subscribing if you aren't already. Then watching the numbers go up does give me a little bit of a nice feeling, even though I understand that, you know, this is a documentation of my journey with my spiders. It's always nice to have support of people, which is it makes you feel good. Anyway, that is it. That is it for today. So I will catch up with you guys next week at some point. Have a good one. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. Catch you later.